Throughout the history of mankind, humans can be divided into two groups, and here's a little riddle to find out which group you belong to. Imagine you've just been given a brand new project at work. Yes, something completely new, something you've never done before. Now, be honest with yourself, no need to lie. What would you really do? Would you start right away, open your laptop, make a quick plan, and stay full of energy? Or would you find yourself checking your phone and suddenly wanting to clean your desk? Whatever your answer is, I've got good news. I made up those two groups. They're not real. But wait, don't pause the video, don't be mad at me just yet. Because with that one simple question, I have seen many people started to realize something. You are more likely to act like group number 2. You often delay, you avoid starting. Or maybe you've known this for a long time, which is probably the reason why you are here, that the whole process of avoidant before starting something has a name: procrastination. Procrastination means you know exactly what you need to do. You even have time to do it, but still, you choose to do something else, or nothing at all. In today's video, we will dive into why do we really procrastinate, and how do we stop? Why do we really procrastinate? Reason number 1, procrastination can be a survival skill. This one hit me hard when I first realized it. Procrastination is not just about being lazy or distracted. It's actually a survival skill, one that your brain built a long time ago to keep you safe. Let me tell you a story. When I was a kid, I loved drawing, like a lot. I never played games or toys, just drawing. But at a certain point, I just stopped drawing at all. Why? Because one time, I showed my art to someone and they just laughed. After that, my brain learned something. If I hadn't shown it to anyone, I would still have enjoyed drawing. So now, even as an adult, I still carry that reflex. When I think about starting a big project, something I care about, I feel stuck. Not because I don't want to do it, but because deep inside, I'm scared of being judged. In short, I prefer calling this thing trauma-based procrastination. It's when my brain uses delay as a way to avoid emotional pain, like shame, rejection, or disappointment. The good news is, once we see this clearly, we can start to fix your procrastinating tendency. Because you're not broken, your brain was just trying to protect you. Reason number 2, procrastination can be due to perfectionism. Perfectionism, or the tendency to always do everything to a perfect level, it sounds like a good thing, right? But here's what I learned. Perfectionism is often just fear in a fancy outfit, which eventually leads to nothing being done at all. To me, at least, I've caught myself many times delaying a task that I am actually excellent at. I have all the skills, all the qualifications, and all the time. However, I keep thinking, what if there's a better way? What if people expect more from me? Many people whom I talk to have stated that perfectionism and procrastination are best friends, because when you're afraid the final result won't be perfect, you keep delaying the start. The sad part? Sometimes we end up procrastinating our own dreams just to avoid the pain of not being perfect. But here's the truth. Nothing great starts perfectly. Not your art, not your business, not your first try. If you wait for perfection, you'll just wait forever. Or you can stop procrastinating and actually get something done. Reason number 3, procrastination can be tiredness. Lastly, I hope everyone keeps in mind that not everything is procrastination. Sometimes procrastination isn't deep trauma or some hidden fear. It's your body and brain being too tired. Why do I need to mention this? Because many friends of mine have been stressed that they procrastinated too much. Well, of course your body will shut down after pushing yourself for days, skipping real rest, running on caffeine and guilt. I've felt this plenty of times as well. I'd sit down to work, and then I'd zone out or suddenly feel super sleepy. This isn't procrastination. This is your nervous system saying, I need a break. In today's world, we are expected to always go, go, go. But humans aren't machines. We need sleep, rest, good food, time off, and sometimes we just need to do nothing for a while. If you don't recognize this, you'll keep blaming yourself for something that's actually biological. In the end, many reasons for procrastination come from things like emotional pain, fear of imperfection, or simply being too exhausted. So instead of fighting procrastination with more pressure, maybe it's time to understand it with more kindness. How do we stop procrastinating? Tip number 1, do something even harder than what you're avoiding. This trick sounds pretty funny, but it actually worked for me, I promise. Try doing something even more uncomfortable than the task you're avoiding. For example, one time I caught myself avoiding sending the important emails. I went to take a cold shower. Yes, the uncomfortable level of coldness. Or sometimes I would make myself do 1 minute of push-ups or dancing to loud music for 3 minutes. It's not about exercise, it's about breaking the freeze. To me, when I procrastinate, I often feel heavy, stuck, almost like my brain is sleeping. That's when doing something hard but not stressful, even just for a minute, wakes up my body and gives my brain a little push. So remember this, a little discomfort now can help you escape that loop of procrastination and finally begin. Tip number 2, break it down and reward yourself. This one is especially useful when I procrastinate because a task feels just too big. Don't try to finish it all, just break it into tiny pieces. Let's say I need to write a report. Instead of forcing myself to write the report, I would make a to-do list of 1. Open laptop, 2. Make the title, 3. Write 3 sentences. Procrastination often shows up when a task feels too heavy or endless. But when we break it down, it becomes possible. And with a bit of rewards, it can even be fun. And here's the additional part that you can also apply. After each step, I give myself a tiny reward. It could be a piece of chocolate, a favorite song, or a 5-minute walk. Sounds childish? Well, in fact, our brains still love little treats just like when we were kids. So next time you feel stuck, try this. Small wins plus small rewards equal real progress. Tip number 3, write a smart to-do list. This tip is related to the second tip, but for times when you have a bunch of tasks on your hands. Let's be honest, most of us have written to-do lists that made us feel even more stressed. Too long, too messy, and too much pressure. So here's a way to have a smarter to-do list. Personally, every day, I divide my list into 3 parts. Main task, the one thing I have to finish. Side tasks, helpful but not urgent. Super easy tasks, takes 2 to 5 minutes only. Why? Because whenever I feel myself procrastinating, I look at the easy task first. It could be reply to one message or clean my desk. Doing it gives me a small win, and then I have the energy to face the main task. A to-do list is a helpful friend to stop procrastination, but only when you know how to use it. Tip number 4, change your environment. Sometimes procrastination comes from boredom, like from seeing the same wall, the same desk, the same chair. For me, whenever I notice myself staring at the screen and doing nothing, I don't force it. I just change my surroundings. I move to a different room. I switch from my desk to the sofa, or I pack my bag and go work at a quiet cafe for an hour. It doesn't sound like much, but somehow it tricks my brain into thinking, hey, something new is happening. And just like that, I feel ready to start. Procrastination loves routine. So, if you feel stuck, try changing your space, even just a little, to change your energy. Tip number 5, don't do it alone. Finally, this one changed my life more than I expected. Do the task with someone else. I often call it the power of friendship. When someone is simply sitting next to me, doing their own thing, my brain feels more focused and committed. So I've done this with friends multiple times. We'd sit in a cafe, each working on our own project. We didn't even talk much, but just knowing someone was next to me made me stop procrastinating. So if you can, invite a friend to study, write, or even clean the house together. Sometimes beating procrastination is just easier when you don't do it alone. In the end, remember this: procrastination doesn't mean you're lazy or broken. It just means your brain is trying to protect you from fear, from stress, or from burnout. What matters is learning to understand yourself, be kind to yourself, and take one small step at a time. Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Maybe turn on our notifications so you won't procrastinate learning more great things.